Hey beautiful friends, it's so great to be back with you, and just look at this view. I kind of grew up in this area, in this place called Hahe, and at the moment I'm sitting on a pā site. And pā were used by Māori who are indigenous to New Zealand as a war fortress, basically, a defence unit to protect themselves from other iwi, other Māori tribes, as well as Europeans who came over. So this is a pretty spectacular view, quite steep cliffs, which makes it perfect for a pā site. So today is going to be all about the upper body. It's going to be a little bit slower, but we're going to open and energize, so it's perfect if you're just waking up, but you can do this anytime during the day. We'll also have some cleansing pranayama towards the end as well, but we're going to actually start on our belly today. So come on down. We're going to make this a little bit more active by threading the right hand over towards the left side, and then the left arm is going to thread underneath as well. So you're just threading them through towards opposite sides, and you're trying to push your weight into your arms to deepen into this stretch across the tops and the front of the arms. If you're not feeling anything, try to take your hands a little bit wider. You can also walk yourself up a little bit higher. See if you can close down the eyes and start to take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose, filling up the back of the lungs, the back of the ribs with oxygen, with air, with prana, and then using your exhale to deepen and sink you into your upper body. And just using the closing of the eyes as a way to tell our mind that we are flipping the gaze inwards. So from an external gaze where we will respond and we react, to a gaze where we listen, and be in our bodies, be in our minds. Let's take one or two more deep breaths here. We've got a little funky transition here. We're going to start to roll ourselves over to the right. Keep the left hand where it is and start to pivot the right shoulder back. Right knee starts to bend. Right hand comes towards the side, and see if you can take your left hand around the right thigh. Eye gaze shifts down the right hand. So big spinal twist here, opening through the thoracic spine. And then when you're ready, just rolling back through center. So we're taking this pretty slow to begin with. Let's extend the right arm so it's underneath the left arm. Reach both hands to the opposite direction. Palms are facing up. And softening the jaw, softening the eyebrows. Finding stillness in our body. I'm going to turn this into the twist. So start by turning towards the left. Unravel the left hand, bend the left knee, draw it over to the right, and then extend the left hand towards the left. Right hand clasp around the thigh. See if you can shift your eye gaze down the left hand. Maybe even just keeping the eyes closed. And then when you're ready, just rolling back through center. Let's take the fingertips wide, so outside your mat. Lift the elbows high. Use your next breath in to squeeze the glutes and lift as high as feels comfortable here. As you exhale, roll down the center. Chin comes in last. Inhale to lift. This time as we exhale, drop the right shoulder, look over the left elbow. Inhale to rise again. Exhale, draw the left shoulder down, look over your right elbow. Inhale back through center. See if you can lift your eye gaze here. As you exhale, roll down through your spine. Bring the hands by your ribs, press up onto your knees, tuck your toes, but keep the hips traveling back so you meet a balasana with your toes tucked. Reach your hands forward. You can always untuck the toes if that feels better for you. See if you can draw the armpits towards the ground. Forehead presses down onto your mat. Option here to come up onto your fingertips, just to make this a little bit more active. You're going to make this into a little flow. Use your next breath in to roll yourself up through center. As you exhale, soften the hips down, squeeze the glutes, bend the elbows slightly, come through your cobra. Bring the palms down towards the ground, press up on your in-breath. As you exhale, travel back into your balasana. Out, exhale. Come up onto fingertips. Use your next breath in to roll yourself forward, ripple through the spine, curving through the upper back, then slowly lower the hips down, squeeze the glutes, lower the chest down, exhale. Bring the hands towards the ground, inhale to press up, exhale to transfer it back. Last time. Inhale to roll forward. So starting this curved and then slowly unraveling, exhale. Place the hands down, inhale, press up, exhale, travel back. Let's draw the hands back towards the knees. You can keep the toes tucked, you can untuck them, up to you. Either pressing the fingertips towards you, or you can draw the fingertips behind you so your hands are close towards your knees. Another option here is to bring the knees on top of the hands. This will make it a little bit easier for what we're going to do next, but this is definitely just an option. Take a big breath in, see if you can drop the belly down, lift the eye gaze, lift the tailbone. So finding a cow variation. As you exhale, round through the upper back, draw the chin in towards the chest. Inhale to open, draw the chest through, lift the eye gaze. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Exhale to round. A few more times, inhale to open. Exhale to close. One more time. Find the whole depth of this movement. See how far you can extend your spine. If you've got your fingertips facing towards you, can you lean yourself back? Maybe you lift up the knees, just giving yourself a little bit more space. But if you feel any pinching in your forearms, please let this go. And then come back down with your knees. Release your hands, turn them in the other direction. So the backs of the hands come down to the ground. Let's find your way into a tabletop position. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. You can release the toes if you have them. Start by curving your spine, looking over towards your left foot. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. See if you can pull the ribs towards the right side of the mat. Try draw your hips towards the left. And let's try the other side. So use your breath to transfer, draw the ribs towards the left, hips towards the right. And a few more times. So trying to curve through our spine. If you know your Ujjayi breath, then maybe you lay this on here. We want to practice this anytime that we practice asana. So this is just a constriction of the back of the throat. It sounds like a wave or a snore. Let's try this one more time. And then the next time your ribs curve towards the right, can you extend your right hand towards the top left of the mat? Top left corner. Draw the right hip back. Come back through center. Let's try this on the other side. So extend the left hand towards the top right corner of the mat. Draw the chest down, pull the left hip back, make a curve through the spine. Come back through center, take a big breath in, spread the fingertips wide. As you exhale, tuck onto your toes and lift the hips up and back into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Maybe you pedal out your feet here, drawing one heel down, drawing the other heel down. And what's so great about this asana is that it pretty much works or opens and strengthens the whole body here. So it's not just the legs, we're also trying to lengthen through the spine, engaging the arms. So see if you can peel the tailbone a little bit higher towards the ceiling or the sky. Drawing the chest through towards the thighs, rolling the elbows so they turn behind you, and that's just going to roll the shoulders in their sockets so we're engaged more. You can stay in your down dog and find a bit of stillness, or see if you can bend the knees slightly, tap the right elbow towards the ground, so half dolphin. Bring the right elbow back, tap the left elbow towards the ground. Come back, make sure we're not locking our legs out here, so keep the knees bent. Let's try that one more time each side. So inhale, drop the right elbow, exhale, come up. Inhale, drop the left elbow, draw the chest under, exhale, tap, come up. Use your next breath in to ripple through your spine to find your plank. Shoulders land over the wrists, then bend the knees, lift the hips up first, leading with the tailbone, then belly pulls through, then chest pulls through on your exhale. 2 more times. Inhale to roll forward, round through the upper back. Exhale to lead with the tailbone, bend the knees, sink the heels down towards the ground. 1 more time. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, send it back. Next, inhale, walk your feet up towards the top of the mat. Find your Uttanasana, your forward fold. Feet can be together or slightly apart. See if you can clasp opposite elbows here. And just a little sway from side to side. Drawing the forearms down towards the ground beneath you, maybe a little bob up and down. Let's release the hands, bring them to the shins, inhaling halfway lift. Using the strength of the back to lift yourself high. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise, lift both arms, lift the eye gaze. And then as you exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. We'll find one Surya Namaskar. Inhale to lift. Maybe baby back bend here, squeeze the glutes. As you exhale, bend the knees, dive it forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, hand to shins, shoulders pull back. As we exhale, place the hands down, step back into your plank position. Hold here. Take a big breath in to shift yourself forward. On your knees or your toes, bend the elbows close towards the body. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog, whatever you feel warm for. And then as you exhale, press up into your downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Find a breath. And then see if you can walk your feet back up to the top of the mat on your inhalation. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhaling, halfway lift, hands to shins. As you exhale, fold again. Inhale to rise, lift the arms, lift the eye gaze. Squeezing the glutes to open the hip flexors. And then as you exhale, hands by the sides. Tadasana. Let's step the left foot towards the right side of the mat. So you're stepping it behind, come onto the outer edge of the left foot. Take a big breath in to lift the left hand. As you exhale, a few options. You could clasp the right hand around the left wrist and pull away. Another option is to bend the elbow and take the left hand behind. If you're feeling pretty warm, you can sweep the right hand behind and clasp onto the left hand. Take a big breath in to lift. As you exhale, can you bend even further into your side body? Come back to center, bring the left foot next to the right. Hands come behind your neck. Take a big breath in to open the elbows wide. As you exhale, draw the elbows in, round through the upper back. Inhale to open. Exhale to close, but this time can we roll yourself down through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Just pulling on your head so slightly, keeping the knees bent. Option to bring the hands to the shins, or you can keep the hands around the neck. Next, inhale, halfway lift. If you've got the elbows, peel them wide. Use the strength of the core and the elbows. Imagine like you're trying to peel them towards the ceiling or the sky above you. Use your next exhale to bring the hands towards the ground. Step back into your plank. Inhale to shift your weight forward. As you exhale, elbows come close to the body. Inhaling to find your opening variation of choice. Exhale to come back. Option here to stay in your down dog, or tap the right elbow down towards the ground, bend the knees. Exhale, come back. Inhale, tap the left elbow. Keep the tailbone sending high. Exhale, come up. Option 2, elbows towards the ground for your dolphin pose. Hold here for a breath or two. Keep softening the knees, try to draw the chest through towards the thighs. And then press both elbows back up. Use your next inhale to walk the feet up towards the top of the mat. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. As we exhale, fold back again. Inhale to rise, lift the arms, lift the eye gaze. Maybe baby back bend here if that feels good. Exhale, hands by the sides, Tadasana. Start to step the right foot behind, coming onto the outer edge of the right foot. Sweep your right hand high on an inhale, either taking the left hand around the right wrist and pulling away, or finding your arm variation of choice. Take one more breath here. Using your inhalation to expand a little taller. Using your exhale to deepen into your side bend. Engage through the core. Come back through center. Elbows come wide on an in-breath. As you exhale, bring the elbows in, start to roll yourself down through your spine. Again, curving through your back as much as you can. You can add a little sway arm from side to side as you lower. Again, either bringing the hands to the shins, or use your next inhale, halfway lift, elbows peel wide. Exhale to fold. Bring the hands down, step back into your plank for an in-breath. Shift your weight forward. As you exhale, bend the elbows close. Inhale to open. As you exhale, come up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Option to stay in your down dog or come into a balasana. Otherwise, tap the right elbow down. Inhale. Exhale, send it back up. Inhale, tap the left elbow down, bend the knees. Exhale, send it back up. Option 2 elbows down. It's a big opening through the shoulders. I would highly encourage you to bend your knees a lot here because it's just gonna help you out with your spine. And then start to peel the elbows off again. Use your next inhale to ripple through your spine, land the shoulders over the wrists, and then start to draw the heels towards the right. Find your Vashisthasana, your side plank. Left hand reaches high. Option to bring the right knee down here. Another option, if you'd like to try a bit more, is to step the left foot behind the right knee and press out into your wild thing. Reaching the left hand towards the front, squeezing the glutes, maybe expanding the heart space towards the sky. And then when you're ready, come back through center. Place the left hand down, pivot onto your left, onto the left heel. Reach the right hand high. Keep lifting the hips here. Option to tap the left knee down here, or take the right foot, behind you and press through the heels to lift the hips high. And then start to shift the eye gaze back down. Bring the hands into your plank, lower into your Chaturanga, breathing out. Breathe in, baby cobra, upward facing. As you exhale, press up so that you're on your knees, kneeling. Option here to tuck onto your toes, if you would like. And see if you can clasp the hands behind the back, draw the knuckles back. Take a big breath in to open through the heart space. Squeeze the elbows behind you, draw the knuckles down towards your feet, maybe lift the eye gaze. Stay here for one more breath. And if you are tucked onto your toes, untuck them, take a big breath in. As you exhale, draw the forehead down towards the ground. See if you can reach the pinky fingers towards the top of the mat. So we're slowing things down now. Stay here for one more breath. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades back. Release the hands. Come up into your tabletop position. Start to extend the left leg out towards the side so that the heel is parallel with the hips or perpendicular with the hips. Left toes turn towards the front. Can you take an in-breath to sweep the right hand towards the sky? As you exhale, thread the right hand towards your left foot. Drop the right temple down. If it meets the foot, awesome. If it doesn't, no worries. You can keep the left hand here to press away to open the shoulder back. Another option is to bring the left hand behind the right hip, maybe clasping towards the right inner thigh. We'll stay here for a few breaths. I would highly encourage you to think about spilling your belly down towards the ground or towards the thighs. So tipping your pelvis forward like you've got a bucket of water in your hips and you're trying to get as much of it out as you can. And that's also just going to open through the hamstrings. One more breath. If you've got the bind, release it, bring the left hand towards the ground. Use your next in-breath to sweep the right hand high. As we exhale, place it down, slide the left foot in. Extend the right foot out towards the side, toes are facing the front. Take a big breath in to sweep the left hand high. As you exhale, thread the left hand through towards the right. Drop the left temple down. Again, option to keep the right hand where it is, or you can take it behind you, clasping at the left inner thigh. So it's a big thoracic twist here. As we start to slow things down, can you breathe a little bit deeper? Filling up your diaphragm with as much air as you can. If you've got the bind, let's release. Bring the right hand towards the ground. Use your next in-breath to sweep the left hand high. As we exhale, place the left hand down, draw the right foot in, cross over the toes, come onto the sit bones, and we're pretty much going to head straight down onto our backs. So just walk yourself forward slightly. Roll yourself down through your spine. Feet come by the hips here. See if you can tickle the Achilles with your fingertips. That's how you know that they're in a good position. Use your next breath in to start to lift the pelvis off by tilting it up, and start to peel the spine off as well. Finding your Setu Bandhasana. Pressing through the heels as much as you can to lift the hips. Squeeze the glutes. Option here to bring the hands underneath and clasp. See if you can walk high onto your collarbones, onto your shoulders if you do. So that's just finding an even bigger opening through the chest. Let's try 2 more breaths here and see if you can puff up even higher. Draw the ribs towards the hips slightly. And then slowly release the hands, roll down through the spine. Start to bring the feet over the hips. Another option here is to find a halasana, a plow pose. And how you can do that is take the fingertips wide by your side, start to roll yourself up, lifting the hips, and then drawing the feet up and over your head. They might not meet the ground, they might meet the ground. Just work with your body today. Come up high onto your shoulders. Again, you can clasp your hands down your mat, or you can bring your hands to your hips. Keep trying to lift the hips as high as you can so they're stacked as much as they can over your shoulders. If you feel any pain through your back or the neck here, please let this go. I'll try a few more breaths here. Drawing the belly into the spine. If you've got the hands clasped, let's release them. Start to roll down through the spine slowly. Finding a way into a shavasana in whatever shape or way feels most nourishing, most welcoming to you right now. We'll just be here for a couple of minutes of quiet to relax, to be in our body, to be in our breath before we head up for some pranayama. Can you take a few more deep breaths? Let go of any tension, not just in the physical body, but also in the mental body and the emotional body. If your attention has been drawn away, can you encourage it to come back? And start to bring some movement back into our body, maybe wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingertips. Maybe making some bigger movements. We will eventually meet up in a seat. Take your time in getting there. Maybe keeping the eyes closed for a second. So we are going to be practicing some Kapalabhati Pranayama, which is a very energizing and cleansing pranayama. So it's definitely going to set you up with a spike of energy before we come out into the rest of the day. What you're going to do is you're going to breathe in slightly, and it's forceful breathing out through the nose that's short, using the diaphragm, so not using the chest. So I'll just give an example. So what you're doing is that you're contracting the abdomen while you're breathing out. We'll try a few rounds of 20, and you do this in your own time. You can do it with my count, or you can do it with your count. So sit up tall. Also just find another position if sitting cross-legged doesn't feel comfortable. Take a big breath in through the nose. And then start. Once you're done 20, back to normal breath. Anytime this feels a bit too much, please feel free to let go of this practice. We'll try that 3 more times. Once you've done your 4 rounds, just return back to normal breath. We will stay here for about another minute or so of quiet. And just keeping the eyes closed. Can you bring your hands together? Rub the palms, create some heat, create some energy. And then start to place your hands over your eyes. So your thumbs are out, fingers are over the eyelids. And ever so slowly, just cracking the eyelids open and starting to notice colors, shapes, textures in front of you, keeping your eyes really soft. And then releasing your hands down by your sides. I thank you so much for joining me for a relatively short asana and pranayama practice, but I hope you feel more energized, more open, especially within the upper body. Of course, if you do have any requests, anything that you would like to see, then please let me know. I will also be holding a short series on Instagram, on my Instagram handle Current Movement, and throughout January I'll be posting about 10 to 15 minute live streams throughout the day filled with movement, whether that's yoga asana or other forms of movement practices, perhaps a few meditations and pranayama practices in there as well. But it's just a great way to be able to commit to a short period of time for your January period. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you again next time. Namaste.